Okay, so we're now looking at an introduction to ratio and really what the topic is all about. So let's get into it, understanding ratio. Now, to do this, we're going to consider mixing different colours of paint. So we've got here that many colours of paint can be mixed from the 4 base colours. So you can see here you've got blue, yellow, red, and white, and you can make any colour paint from these base colours. Now, let's think about making pink paint. What would you need to consider? And there's a couple of things here that you would need to consider when you're making pink paint. Now, the first one would be which colours you need to mix. Okay, so to make pink paint, you've got to be mixing red and white. But then importantly, okay, how much, or the quantity means how much of red and white pink you would need to mix. Okay, so these are 2 things you need to consider when you're making pink paints. So for example, how would you write something like this? How would you write 3 units, so just 3 parts of red paint to 1 unit of white paint as a ratio? And that's what we're going to get onto, importantly now. So let's say we wanted to mix 3 units, so 3 units of red paint and 1 unit of white paint, as you can see here. How would you write that as a ratio? So first of all, okay, ratio, you've got this this colon here. So you've got the ratio of red to white, and it's just saying you've got, and this, you read this as red to white, and you're just saying here you've got 3 parts red, 1, 2, 3 to 1 part white, and that is it. So 3 parts of red to 1 part of white. That is simply what a ratio is. Okay, it's just expressing 2 quantities compared to each other. And we say this as the ratio is 3 to 1. Okay, to make the pink darker, we could also add more units of red paint, because the more red that you add, the darker the paint's going to get. So you could now go and add 2 more cans of red. So now you've got 5 cans of red to 1 can of white. Now this as a ratio, okay, you've got 5 cans of red to 1 white. You just put it as 5 to 1, and that is it. So the ratio of red to white is 5 to 1. So one last thing, the order of the quantities is really, really important, okay, because I've labelled it as red to white. If I rip below this 1 to 5, if I switch the order around, okay, that's now saying I've got 1 red paint to 5 white paint. So it's really important that you, however you label it, so I've gone for here red to white, you make sure that the order is how you want it to be. Okay, 5 to 1 and 1 to 5, they mean different things if you're using this convention up here. That's a really important thing to note. Okay, up here you've got the diagram shows the ratio of red paint to white paint, which is 3 to 9. You can see you've got 3 cans of red and you've got 9 cans of white paints over here. So the ratio is 3 to 9 of red to white. Now, dividing by 3 simplifies the ratio of 3 to 9 to give 1 to 3. So we've got this ratio 3 to 9. Because 3 is a factor of 3 and 9, I can divide 3 by 3 to give me 1 and divide 9 by 3 to give me 3. Now, mixing the paint in the ratio 3 to 9 would give the same colour as mixing the paint in the ratio 1 to 3. So mixing it in this ratio and mixing it in this ratio gives you the same colour. And this is because the colours are mixed in, they're in the same ratio. Okay, the ratio 3 to 9 and 1 to 3, they mean the same thing. I've just simplified the ratio. It's a similar idea to how you'd simplify fractions, okay? 3 to 9 and 1 to 3, they mean the same thing. You've just simplified down the ratio, okay? They're mixed in the same ratio. So that's something else to consider. So there you go. This is an example of simplifying a ratio, which we're going to be looking at in the next video. So I believe that is it for this first video on a brief introduction to what ratio is. And we'll get on to simplifying ratio in the next video. Thank you for watching.